Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite essential oil and acupuncture point combination to transform unproductive fear in your body. So we have productive fear, believe it or not. Productive fear is when we get out of the way of a busy car or like a fast-moving car, or there's something that's actually putting us physically at risk, and there is a reason we should have fear, and it's going to motivate us to change. And then we have unproductive fear. These are like open loops of anxiety. I like to call them disaster fantasizing, imagining every possible thing that could go wrong in every possible way, and what I'd say to that person if they said that to me, and what if that happened. This is unproductive loops of fear. And when we're kind of in that state of fight or flight all the time. So many people are living in this place. And I've done a lot of talking recently about cortisol and the effects of living in this state of fight or flight. And when we live in this place and we're in a chronic state of fear, we tend to get destabilized, particularly in the lower part of our body, and we like jump right up to our head. And our head is a great tool, but it should not be leading this situation in our lives. It tends to go into fight or flight. Our head only knows the past. It only knows fear. It only knows ego. So it's really not. And when we get fearful, our vision goes in. We tend to get narrow visioned. We can't see possibility. And it's really great for short term to get us out of the way of danger, but long term, it has a lot of detrimental effects. So, and what fear looks like in your body, it's going to look different for every one of you. So, chronic stressors, we can have unproductive, overwhelmed feeling. You can feel depressed, anxious all the time. You can just feel that low level hum below the surface. Or if you're like really jumpy when something happens, someone comes in the room and you don't hear them, you're like, oh my gosh, you scared me, that kind of stuff. Or just living in this constant state of feeling like you have to be on edge all the time. So oils, I love working with essential oils. They work this ability to hit our most primal nerve endings, which come in our nose, or sort of one of our most primal scents. It works on our physical body, energetic body, emotional body, psychic body, all at the same time. And when you combine it with an acupuncture point, it can be super powerful. So we're going to talk about my favorite one today. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Angela Warburton. I'm an Eastern medicine practitioner with over 25 years of working in clinic with women. I combine holistic, time-tested medicine infused with modern science, because I love when the two blend. I work on lifestyle medicine, nutrition, herbal medicine, obviously essential oils. And I support women moving through midlife and menopause with more ease, with more grace, with more empowerment, because it's a very normal stage in life. This is called our second spring in Eastern medicine. And I'm really here to give you the tools to understand your body and give you the tools to thrive. So welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So today, my oil. So this combination is really powerful for resetting what we call the HPA axis, the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis, which is the one that it's really important for managing stress in your body. So it's very soothing to the nervous system. I liken it. I don't know if any of you have seen those commercials where it's like a hair commercial and like, this is your hair before conditioner. It's like all fried. And then when they put the conditioner on, it's like, oh, it's just all smooth. So I think of this combination as like going from a fried nervous system to one where everything's just smoothed out, and you can it's like that super grounding foundation. And it's actually a tree oil that we're going to work with. The oil, let's just tell you what it is. The oil is Black Spruce. It is an ancient oil. It's adaptogenic. I'll talk to you a little bit what that means, but helping our body adapt to stress. It helps to boost your immune system. It works on the respiratory system. It's decongestant. It's actually anti-inflammatory, helping with that. So when we get stressed in chronic states of stress, we can have more inflammation in the body, and that can be detrimental long-term. Small-term, short-term, it's okay, but long-term, it's not great. It's also antiseptic, antifungal, got lots of great properties. In Eastern medicine, we say it relates to the lung system. It's so beautiful when you look at trees. They actually, the way they look resembles the lungs, the sort of the tree of life. Internally, it brings us life in from the air, and it's just no joke that trees give off oxygen and use carbon dioxide, and we do the opposite. So it's all about this synergistic balance. It also works on the kidney system, so that's related to our adrenal glands. It's the deepest I call it like your bank of energy in Eastern medicine. And it works on what we call the Chong and Ren. So it's like their pelvic bowl as well. So that has a lot to do with fertility. It has a lot to do with more the yin, the feminine energy. And it really, this Black Spruce boosts our energy, tonifies our chi and our blood, really important in this transition. I'm not getting too much into Eastern medicine, but blood and chi, that's life force and vitality in our body, and helps to bring some of that life and that spark back to the kidneys. If we are burned out, we lack that life force. And so we want to be doing things to shut off those gates around fear and bringing back nourishment into our body. So Black Spruce is a beautiful oil for helping to shift this tree. Tree oils in where did that come from? Tree oils in general help to support the lung systems. The tree energy in general is really hopeful energy. It gives us that trees root deeply into the earth, and then their branches and the leaves are reaching up to the heavens. They up through life. So it's really that combination of the two. When we're deeply rooted and supported, we can do so much in the world. So it's like receiving the light, the energy from the world, but also feeling like we know who we are and ourselves. So that's the beauty of the tree energies, and in particular, this ancient one of Black Spruce. So it's really helpful, again, in replenishing, balancing a dysregulation of the HPA axis. So the adaptogenic side, so the adaptogen means helping your body adapt to stress, whether it's physical stress, mental stress, emotional, spiritual, all of the above. Usually, it affects everything. Just, your mental body is not separate from your physical body. We are one ecosystem. And so I don't need to tell you that if you've had a heartbreak or something, that you feel it physically, or you hurt yourself, or you're living in chronic pain, it affects you mentally as well and emotionally. So it just tends to all these different bodies. And an interesting thing is it will help to relieve chronic stress, and even we say ancestral stress or fears that can squash our ability to show up fully in the world. So we've had so much. There's so much interesting research on ancestral trauma or ancestral patterns that show up generation after generation. And it makes sense because our bodies are programmed to survive and our cells remember. And so it's amazing because they can remember positive things. But if there's been any trauma in the past, our cells will pass on that trauma, even if that threat is no longer there. There was an interesting study they did on rats, and they had rats in a cage, and they would pump in the smell of cherry blossoms and also give a light electrical charge at the feet on the base of the cage. It doesn't sound very nice, but this is what they did. And then they would measure the stress response and map the brain in the rats. And so they did that for a while, noticed the stress response in the brain, those neural pathways get activated. Then they removed the charge, and then they measured and just pumped in the smell of cherry blossoms, and they still got that stress response in the brain. And then they bred these rats multiple generations, up to, I think it was 7 generations later, and they put the smell of cherry blossoms into a cage and measured the stress response, and they still had this heightened stress response to cherry blossoms, even though there was no threat from cherry blossoms, there was no electrical charge, and it had been multiple generations later. And we know this through humans as well. So there are, patterns in families that pass down to generation to generation. So sometimes if you notice that you have a reaction to something when you're like, I don't even know why I'm reacting to that. There's no threat, but our body, our fear system knows something different. So this is important to pay attention to, and there's lots you can do to help shift those neural pathways in the head. It takes time. The body doesn't like to do that because it takes a lot of energy, but it's totally possible. And when we use tools like essential oils on acupoints and consistently reminding your body that you are safe, signaling safety, it can have a huge impact long term. So because when you're able to shift out of this fear state, it ripples out into your world. I don't need to tell you, when you're grounded and safe, the people in your life are going to respond to that. And when they feel safe, it responds out. So it's a ripple. When we can take care of ourselves, our families, our friends, our kids, our community will benefit from it as well. And you're just going to feel better. And who doesn't want to feel better? So there you go. So recalibrating, stabilizing, the rootedness of black spruce and will help shift the energy and help you come back home into yourself. So I'm going to give you a couple of ways to use this. First thing, with any kind of acupoint therapy, I guess you can call it, using essential oils, you want to get a high quality oil. You can't use anything synthetic. And I put a couple of links to a few of my favorite distributors in the notes, and there's one that you can get free shipping on it. I have a code for you on that. But they're good. I only use companies that I use myself and that I believe in 100%. So you can look in the notes there, or if you have a great distributor, that's somewhere where you get your oils are high quality, it's beautiful. You don't need to use full strength. You only need to use a 25% dilution in this. That means 25% oil and 75% carrier oil. And the carrier oil is anything that would be high quality plant-based oil. You can use avocado oil. You can use olive oil. It's got a little, ideally you don't want anything that has a strong smell. Fractionated coconut oil, jojoba oil, sweet almond oil, all those are great. And if you can put it in a bottle, mine's pre-diluted here. But if you have two, full strength and another one, you can just put a drop of the oil in your hand and a drop of the carrier oil. That will give you a 50% dilution, and you just mix it in your hand. The technique with the acupoint is so gentle, which I love. Sometimes we think it's gotta be hard, or I gotta push hard on something to get an effect. And this is the exact opposite. Your body's smart, it's wise, you're absorbing the oil in, and it's gonna do its work, and it can be so gentle. So when we're typically doing essential oil technique, you're going to put a drop of the diluted oil on your finger, and then most of the points that I do are on both sides of the body, but I'll tell you when they're not. If it's a two-sided point, you're just going to split it between two fingers. And then this is not the point. I'm just going to show you. You're laying it on just like that. If you see an indent, that's too hard. So literally laying the oil on the point, and typically you hold it 1 to 3 minutes, as long as you want, till you feel a change. Basically, sometimes you might just notice. I've broken into tears using oils. I've had clients start to laugh. I've started just like feeling that relaxed state. So just paying attention to what it is for you. Definitely always want to smell. So that's a cup to hand inhalation. So that's just the technique. So I'm going to show you two different techniques and points. One is called a pelvic cradle. So we sort of jump out of our body and move up to our head, as I said, when we're stressed. And so if you cradle your pelvic bowl with the oil, and just bringing that stability, that groundedness back in to your body, it's super, super nourishing and helpful. So the way you do that with this one, so I'm not going to do it because I have clothes on, but you do it on bare skin. You're going to put a couple of drops for this one. You're going to spread the oil between your two hands. And then I'm just going to show you, if you can see me, this is my pelvic. So you're going to put hand on the oil on the front of your belly and the other one on your back, going face down on your sacrum. And you're just going to hold that. And you're going to hold it for 1 to 3 minutes until you feel anything that feels great and feels grounded. And you're just going to hold that hand down on your back of your sacrum and the one across on your belly. And just, you can close your eyes. You can do this combining it with breath work, maybe making your exhales, we call it the 2x breath. So making your exhales longer than your inhales. Do whatever. You could sway back and forth, a grounding, rocking, that can be really soothing as well. Just do what works for you. But you can do that a few times a day. That can be whenever you need it if you're feeling grounded, not grounded and want to feel grounded. And then the other point I'm going to show you is actually on your foot. And everyone kept telling me to show you pictures, so I'm going to show you pictures so you can see. So this point is called spleen. Well, there's 2 points you can do: spleen 3 or spleen 4, and it's right here. They're here on the inside arch of your foot. So it's not under your foot and it's not on top. It's on that very sort of that border between the bottom of your foot and the top of your foot. And these points, they're digestive points. And when you use this, it absorbs into the body really, really easily. And so you can just place the oil, a drop on each hand. It's the same on both feet. Going to come stop my share there. So same on both feet. You can just put the oil on there and hold it. You can also put a drop on one foot and just hold your feet together. But the using it on those points helps it absorb into your body really, really easily. And then you will get the benefits of the beautiful oil. and help calm your nervous system. So there you go. That's my favorite combination, Black Spruce to ground, to root, to soothe your frazzled stress system in your body and just bring that nice, calm, rooted energy back, increase your life force, and just feel a little bit stronger, a little bit more full of vitality. So hope you like that. Let me know how it goes for you if you try it. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit like below. If you want more content like this, holistic content for women, midlife, body, mind, spirit, soul, all of it, you can hit subscribe. I'm sharing new videos every week. And if you know anyone that you think would benefit from this, please, please forward it on. I am here to help women thrive in midlife and beyond. And yeah, thank you for being here. I love hearing your comments. So yeah, reach out anytime. Thank you. Have a beautiful day or evening. See you next time.